So, absolutely insane news. Marvel Studios is delaying movies, moving Deadpool 3 up 7 freaking months. A lot of crazy stuff going on with the next couple of years for Marvel movies. So I want to break that down, but I also want to talk about San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Crazy rumors and reports about that. But on top of all of that, at the end of this video, I have to talk to you about something that everybody missed. And it has to do with an old leak that actually had these delays in it months ago. And that leak also confirms some of the craziest shit we've ever heard when it comes to the Marvel Multiverse and Avengers Secret Wars. Oh boy. Let's get into it. So this just came out within the last couple of hours from when I'm recording this. This first broke in a big Variety article, but it's now being confirmed by the actual companies. Like, there's an article out on Marvel.com talking about it. It says Marvel Studios announced updates to theatrical release schedule. Captain America Brave New World, which is a different name than was announced last year at San Diego Comic-Con, but they're not talking about that in this article. Regardless, that movie was previously dated for 5/3/24. It's now coming out 7/26/24, so delayed all the way to July. Couple of months, but Brave New World now going to be your July summer movie. Thunderbolts, which actually had that date of July 26th, is now moving to December 20th of next year. Blade, which was previously dated for September 6th of next year, has moved to February 14th in 2025. So Blade, horror, violence, Valentine's Day, you know, perfect. Deadpool 3, which was previously going to come out November of next year, has moved all the way up to coming out in May, early May next year. That is a 7-month move up. And don't worry, we're gonna break that down because that's fan-freaking-tastic. Fantastic Four, which was previously going to be dated for Valentine's Day in 2025, has now moved into May of 2025, so a couple of month bump there. Avengers the Kang Dynasty, which was previously dated for May 2nd, 2025, has moved to May 1st, 2026, an entire year later of a delay for the Avengers Kang Dynasty. Avengers Secret Wars, which originally was dated, well, actually originally it was dated for 2025, but then it got bumped to May 1st, 2026, has now been pushed a full year to May 7th in 2027. Now, just looking at the delays here, some of these delays are possibly due to the writer's strike, but I don't really think so. The fact that Deadpool is going to be the first movie in 2024 now for the MCU, I think is because Kevin Feige knows Marvel's kind of on shaky grounds. Deadpool 3 looks really solid. It's going to crack into the multiverse in really fun ways, and it's a movie that would be a brilliant way to kick off next year. I've been saying for a long time, guys, Marvel in 2024, that's when we're really going to see a lot of the changes that I've been talking about for like 6 to 9 months. I've done many videos on that. You know it. I know it. Marvel, not doing great right now, but they've been making changes for some time. Production takes time for changes to go into effect. We're going to see it in 2024. So to kick off the year with Deadpool 3, I mean, such a W, incredible W, and honestly, maybe a hype saver for 2024. Now, pushing Captain America a little bit is a really interesting move. I think they've got a lot of eggs in the Captain America basket. You've got Red Hulk, got Liv Tyler coming back, you got the leader, you've got the friggin' Serpent Society, Val, the Adamantium, Tiamat Island. There's a lot going on in this movie. And so a little extra time is great. I think that will help the movie get away from some other films as well, and just being a big summer blockbuster, taking that big July spot, I think is a good move for Captain America Brave New World. Thunderbolts is getting a massive delay, which is good, and it also makes sense given where they are at in production. They have new writing going on, and that's obviously slowed because of the writing strike. And Thunderbolts is looking to be a very different movie than it was in its conception when it was announced last year. It was originally really looking to be something like a Black Widow sequel. It even had the Black Widow writer on it. Now it has an entirely new team with a lot of the members from the Beef show. They're throwing Sentry into that that thing. They're going nuts with Thunderbolts, so they probably just need extra time to really juice that up and make sure it's really good. I also think it's kind of dope that we're only getting 3 movies. They seem really spaced out, and they all seem great for 2024. Fantastic Four pushing past its Valentine's Day date in 2025 to May. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like that big of a change. Fine. Blade being on Valentine's Day is kind of weird, but I mean, yeah, now it's officially out of 2024. It's going to be one of the 2025 films. And I really think you're probably going to get Spider-Man 4 in 2025 as well, as long as Marvel and Sony can figure that out. Also, possibility of like a World War Hulk movie as well. I'll get into that in just a second, but they're going to need to fill another movie in 2025 because Avengers Kang Dynasty has been pushed all the way to 2026 and Secret Wars is pushed all the way to 2027. So what's going on with the next 2 Avengers movies? Well, here's what I think is happening. Number 1, I do believe that Jeff Loveness is probably taken off Secret Wars, or perhaps they've just brought in additional people to juice up the Kang Dynasty, rather. That's the film that Jeff was going to be on. And I think Marvel just realized they need more time, not only to develop that film because it's incredibly important, but they also need to develop the idea of the multiverse and all of these different players within the 616 MCU. So if you didn't know, the main reason so many Marvel fans are excited for Secret Wars is because the last Secret Wars in comics was monumental, and the years of comics that came before that Secret Wars are maybe the greatest story ever told in comics. It's really that good. It was that impactful to the genre. It was insane. It's probably the reason why Kevin Feige was like, yo, we've got to do Secret Wars. But the key there is they developed really intricate storytelling for years leading up to that. The collapsing of the multiverse and the incursions was a storytelling device that spanned years, and the Illuminati and all these different people within the multiverse were dealing with this for a long time. It's very likely the case that Marvel announced Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty last year to try to get hype and to try to excite fans and let them know that there was another big event on the horizon. There was something they were building towards. But unfortunately, it seems like those dates were a little bit half-baked. They didn't fully recognize all the work that would be needed, especially because now Kevin Feige can't necessarily just trust the executives to run these different shows and movies. He's going to be forced to be a lot more hands-on now because of quality control. So with all of that in mind, I think it makes sense that the Avengers movies are getting pushed. It makes sense because you need that time to develop and you need to make sure you get these right. Now, as for Secret Wars, the delay, it's really unfortunate because damn, bro, that's a long time away. 2027, that's 4 years from when I'm making this video right now. That's kind of wild. But again, it's so damn important for them to nail it. Like, I want Secret Wars to be amazing. You want Secret Wars to be amazing. Kevin Feige wants Secret Wars to be one of the biggest movies of all time, if not the biggest. That's what he's aiming for. He wants to eclipse what was done with Infinity War and Endgame. He wants to do something that's like genre defining, like a magnus opus, like his masterpiece. That's what Secret Wars is. So of course you're gonna need time to get that right. It also allows them to possibly shoot things that could be used for Secret Wars over a longer period of time. Who knows exactly when Secret Wars will go into production, but it is already in pre-production. It's probably been in pre-production for a long time, but they have a writer attached, Michael Waldron, probably doing multiple drafts, and they're probably doing a lot of work on Secret Wars right now. The other side of this, though, is that I think a lot of prep work is being done by Marvel to not only set up Secret Wars, but to set up Secret Wars Part 2 and the Battle World movies. Hey, yo, what the fuck? That's right, I'm still on this shit, man, and let me tell you why. Here's the deal. I truly believe that the Eternity Wars trademark that Marvel got around the same time that they got a bunch of other trademarks last year for San Diego Comic-Con, like Thunderbolts, like Secret Wars, like the Kang Dynasty. I think all of that stuff is real. I think it's been in the plan for a long time. And we've even seen some insiders start to talk about how Secret Wars is likely to be split up into 2 parts. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be something they announce at San Diego Comic-Con. My gut tells me it is, that Feige wants to to just set up that North Star, even though it's really far away. He wants to set that up for the crazy, epic, awesome thing that it's going to be. But even if they don't talk about it this year, I still think that is the plan. Something that insider Alex Perez has recently been talking about on his podcast for the Cosmic Circus is the fact that there are so many ideas that Marvel wants to include in Secret Wars that they feel like they have to split up the movie in two parts, but they're also considering doing an entire year of projects that will be set in the Battle World universe or on Battle World. Quick TLDR for those of you not as nerdy as me that are kind of lost. So in that Secret Wars that I referenced earlier in the video, the comic book event that was like seminal, it was freaking crazy, it was the biggest thing ever. In that event, the entire multiverse is destroyed by incursions. What is left of the multiverse, like these little fragments, are all scooped up by Doctor Doom and smashed together to create Battle World. So instead of a multiverse, there's just literally one planet called Battle World. And in the comics on Battle World, you saw many different stories, many different comic books telling events and doing arcs on Battle World. You had the 90s X-Men make a return and have their own comic book, but it was set on Battle World. You had Old Man Logan coming back, being all weirded out by what was happening around him on Battle World. You had an entirely new version of Civil War with Elseworld versions of Captain America, Spider-Man, Iron Man, She-Hulk, and it all happened on Battle World. And what I'm trying to say here is it looks like Marvel Studios wants to do a ton of fun multiverse stuff, but they can't fit all of it into Secret Wars or even Eternity Wars, which is what I think Secret Wars Part 2 is called. And therefore, they have to do their own shows or entirely new movies, all with crazy multiverse shenanigans on Battle World. And here's where this gets crazy. This is the thing that everybody is missing about these delays. About 2 months ago, the Marvel Studios spoilers subreddit posted a massive info dump on huge leaks that they have heard. In that huge info dump, these new dates for Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars were accurate. Let me repeat that. This leak from 2 months ago had these new dates for these movies. That leak also talked about a Wakanda animated series that we saw a lot of other scoopers and insiders talk about after that leak came out. That leak also talked about the Nomad Project with Chris Evans returning the role of Steve Rogers. Now that subreddit is gone, at least for now. It's been privated. Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios actually sued Reddit and Google, trying to shut that Reddit down. And for now it worked. Like, everybody's spooked over there. Nobody's sharing any of the leaks and secrets. And in fact, a lot of the insiders, even on Twitter, have been more quiet than usual. And I think it's possible that a big motivating factor for them to shut that subreddit down was the fact that that massive info dump was mostly accurate. And that's right, you've probably guessed it, but that info dump also talked about Secret Wars being split into multiple projects and doing a Battle World saga. So frankly, I think it's possible that Marvel delayed or made the decisions to delay months ago. It leaked out. Feige got furious because they're still considering ways to do this. That studio subreddit is gone, but it's very likely the case that at San Diego Comic-Con, a lot of this is going to be revealed for us by Marvel Studios. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section below. Smash a like on this video if you found it to be good at informing you. And you can definitely come on by the live streaming channel if you have any questions about this or just want to talk about what Marvel might be doing next. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays over on the Den of Nerds Live.